Magandang umaga, Malacanang Press Corps. Welcome sa ating press briefing ngayong araw, December 1. Next week, the Justice Sector Coordinating Council, or JSCC, composed of the Supreme Court, Department of Justice, and the Department of Interior and Local Government, will hold the National Jail Decongestion Summit. This summit aims to solve jail congestion nationwide through comprehensive analysis of the challenges and opportunities associated with decongestion efforts. And to give us a background on the upcoming summit, we have with us today Department of Justice Assistant Secretary and Spokesperson, Dominic Clavano IV. Good morning, Assistant Secretary Clavano.
Good morning, Daphne.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. Good morning to all our friends in media. Again, I'm from the Department of Justice, but also a member of the Technical Working Group on the Communications and Partnership Building of JSCC. Now, on December 6 and 7, as mentioned by Daphne, we will be holding a jail decongestion summit in Diamond Hotel, where the representatives from the DILG, the DOJ, and the Supreme Court will be present, of course. We will also have experts, stakeholders, and even those people who have had experience in jail to come and brief us and give us a comprehensive analysis of the problem and possible solutions to quell or to prevent this from happening in the future. Now, just to give a background, so there was a survey done in December 31, 2021, and the latest count was that there were 199,079 persons deprived of liberty, or PDLs as we call them. So that amounts to about 179 PDLs per 100,000 people in our population. 13,704 of these PDLs are female, or that equals 11% of the total BJMP jail population. Significantly, 69.51% of the PDLs are undergoing preventive detention, which means there has not been a decision or a conviction in their cases, and only 30.49% have been convicted and sentenced. Yun po yung pagkakaiba, no? Yung sa BJMP, yun po yung pre-conviction, nakadetain po sila habang tuloy pa rin yung kaso nila sa korte. Yung mga nasa Bucor, Bureau of Corrections, which is under the DOJ, yun po yung na-sentence na po. Meron na pong hatol sa kanila. Another significant stat here is that 70% of BJMP detention facilities are overcrowded at an average congestion rate of 386%. The Quezon City Male Dormitory, which is the highest in terms of the congestion rate, is at 1,330%. Another significant factor here as to why we are holding the summit is that the BJMP facilities for female PDLs are more overcrowded than facilities for male PDLs. So, yung gagawin po natin sa Jail Decongestion Summit, tatlong proposed activities and strategies, no? First is to reduce admissions, and I will talk more about the short-term activities to address that. Second, increase releases by legal means. And third, to expand capacity of jail facilities. So we will have short-term goals as well as long-term goals, which we hope to discuss and thoroughly analyze in the Jail Decongestion Summit. First, yung rules on custodial hearings and requiring bail. As you all know and probably have read about, the DOJ has released rules on the reduced bail amounts for indigents, which will be now either half of the recommended bail, which is listed by the DOJ, or 10,000, whichever is lower. This way, we can enforce the right to bail, which is given or afforded to every citizen or every Filipino. So, marami po kasing, kagaya nung sinabi ko kanina, maraming nakakulong sa BJMP, at yun po yung mga hindi pa na-desisyonan, no? Yung mga criminal cases nila. And the reason why they are still there, kahit bailable naman po yung crimes nila, hindi sila makakapag-piyansa or hindi sila makakapag-afford ng bail nila. Kaya ito po yung isa sa mga short-term solutions na tinitignan ho natin. Pangalawa po, yung threshold ng preliminary investigation. Meron ding rules ang DOJ na linabas via Department Circular 20 kung saan tinaas na po natin ang threshold ng evidence required for the filing of cases. So dati po, probable cause lang po. So ang tanong sa prosecutor basically is there probable cause to believe that a person has committed a certain crime? Ngayon po, meron na po tayong bagong threshold or bagong level ng evidence na kailangan i-meet bago i-file ang criminal case sa court. Ngayon, prima facie evidence supported by a reasonable certainty of conviction. So kailangan po mas mataas ngayon at mas malakas ang ebidensya na ipapresenta sa harap ng prosecutor para po ihain ang kaso sa korte. And as I said a while ago, yung ating mga women in conflict with the law or WICL, ito rin ay isang malaking issue sa Jail Decongestion Summit where we want to reduce admission again and increase releases. Bakit po? Meron po tayong maraming classifications of women in conflict with the law. Meron po tayong minors. Meron po tayong mga sexually and physically abused, which is in line with our anti-violence against women campaign, which we are in the midst of, no? Pregnant WICLs, nursing WICLs, women with disabilities, and of course, elderly women. So we will be coming up, the Supreme Court, the DOJ, and the DILG will be coordinating with regards to the new rules on WICLs and a manual for handling WICLs. Okay. So yun po, no? We hope that we are able to reach the mission of the Jail Decongestion Summit with the help, of course, of the UNODC as well as GoJust, who will be funding the event, a two-day event, where we will have stakeholders, experts, and several government agencies represented. The President will also be gracing the event, together with the Executive Secretary. The Speaker of the House as well as the Senate President have all also confirmed their attendance. So this will be, again, held in Diamond Hotel, and we hope for the best outcome in this summit.
Sounds like good news. Any questions from the media? Alan Francisco, PTV4.
Hi, ma'am. Hi, sir. Just to clarify, is this the first time, sir, that we'll be conducting this kind of event?
Yes, it's the first of its kind. Well, I would consider this as a legacy-building event kasi ito yung pinakaunang pagkakataon na nagsama-sama yung mga actors sa justice sector, Supreme Court, DOJ, and DILG, in really addressing this very pressing issue. Only this administration has, I guess, ventured into even starting to solve this problem of ours.
Follow-up lang, sir. You mentioned that this event aims to solve the possible problems and solutions. Can you cite some examples, sir, ng possible problems if hindi na solusyonan itong decongestion?
Well, really, it's a humanitarian problem. No? It's a human rights problem as well, which we are all very aware of. Meron po tayong tinatawag na Mandela Rules, which provide for the minimum standards for treating a person deprived of liberty. Under the National Building Code, the requirement is about 4.8 square meters per PDL, which is very far from what we're seeing now in the jails. This is something that we believe is a very pressing issue because kahit nakakulong yung mga yan, may karapatan pa rin, tao pa rin yung mga nakakulong, no, sa BJMP tsaka sa Bucor. So this is something that will show the world and to our citizens na we don't take these things lightly. Kahit nakakulong po yan, we still have to treat them with the dignity that they deserve.
Okay, Alvin Baltasar, PBS.
Asec, good morning po. Asec, as part of the tradition na rin siguro, every holiday season, may nasama tayong pardon for this Christmas season. Kung meron, ilan yung in-expect natin ipapardon ni Pangulo?
Well, every year po yan, no? At ang ginawa po ni Secretary on the President's birthday And on Christmas, meron po tayong binibigay na listahan sa PPA, and then eventually aakyat po yan sa Executive Secretary. I'm not particularly sure kung ano po yung number na binigay ngayon, but last year, it was an amount close to 1,000. So we're expecting a similar amount this year.
Alan Francisco.
Sir, hindi ko maalala kung nabanggit nyo ba yung most congested na jail at yung QC. May mga plano pa, sir, na magdagdag ng mga jail facilities ang government?
Yes, that will be part of the discussion during the summit. No? Titignan natin kung kailangan pa magdagdag ng jails around Quezon City. But on the side of Bucor, we have already started our plans on regionalizing the jails. About 16 regional jails will be in the pipelines. Right now, there are about 7 facilities. So that will be part. That's one of the strategies. Pero yung isa kasi is to reduce admissions and to increase releases. So together with additional facilities, the other strategies such as increasing releases and reducing admissions will probably help as well with the decongestion.
Follow-up lang, sir. The funds, sir, gagamitin doon sa jail facility. Saan manggagaling, sir?
Ilalagay po natin, ipapropose po natin yan sa GAA. Especially yung sa Bucor, we already asked for additional budget to be able to set up these additional jail facilities. Of course, bukas po kami sa mga LGUs na magdodonate din po ng facility, ng lupa, para po makapagtayo din tayo ng regional jails sa mga lugar nila.
Okay. Jonel Maribok, UNTV.
Sir, push ko lang po yung budget. How much budget po ba ang kailangan talaga para ma-address itong decongestion problems sa facilities natin?
Thank you, Janelle. No? So, I can only speak on behalf of Bucor dahil yun po yung nasa ilalim po ng DOJ. No? It will cost about 2 billion per facility, roughly, depending on the need doon po sa region na yun. No? So, that will be a mix between what we can get from the GAA as well as donations that we can get from the local governments. Just to add, no, meron po tayong plans where lahat po ng requirements sa Mandela Rules ilalagay na ho natin sa mga jail facilities. Ngayon po kasi hindi masyadong high-tech yung ating mga facilities, yung mga CCTV, yung mga jammers natin. Hindi siya effective dahil ngayon nasa NBP, sa Muntinlupa, meron pong tayong mga neighboring communities na kung maglagay po tayo ng jammer na nakakapagpigil ng signal, hindi po siya effective dahil nga nakaka-affect din siya sa ibang communities. So we have to look for areas around the country na medyo remote para doon po ilalagay yung mga facilities para mas effective po yung ating prevention in terms of the use of cell phones, yung pagpapasok ng kontrabando, at iba pang mga issue na nakikita natin sa NBP.
Asec, Miko, the Marcos administration, of course, is very supportive of this program, wanting to decongest our jails. How significant is the support of the president in doing these programs?
Oh, it really does mean a lot to the JSCC. It lends much credibility and much significance to the work that the cabinet members have been doing, as well as the Supreme Court, in order to really solve a problem that has been perennial in our system for a very long time. The presence of the president will not only help raise awareness, but it will also elevate the level of discussion in the summit, and hopefully with his presence and with the motivation that he will be giving us in his opening remarks, we believe that the stakeholders, the experts, will be more willing to engage in a more fruitful discussion.
Thank you. Pia Gutierrez, ABS-CBN.
Hi, sir. Sir, you were talking about hoping for the best outcome dito sa event na to. Pero as far as our targets are concerned, ano po yung target natin as far as reducing the number of PDLs currently in our jail facilities?
There's a formula, no? When you talk about overcrowding in jails, and the formula is Mahina tayo sa math eh. Pero ito, jail admissions minus jail releases multiplied by the ideal capacity. So when you input those numbers and you look at the facility and how much PDLs can fit within a certain facility, it should not go over the ideal. No? So if the facility is meant for 7,000, dapat 7,000 lang talaga nakakulong doon. So we're hoping to spread out the PDLs to different facilities, considering also kung saan sila nanggaling. Let's say, galing sila sa Mindanao. We hope that yung PDL na yun ay may kulong na lang dun sa Mindanao so the family and friends can visit. It's part also of the reformation program, no? But to address your question, yun po yung ideal talaga na kung ano yung capacity ng jail, kung anong capacity ng BJMP or ng Bucor, yun lang po talaga dapat ang ceiling natin.
Are we hoping to achieve that within the administration of the President?
We are. The plan for Bucor at least is to vacate the New Bilibid prison before 2028. By that time, we hope to have as many regional jails to be able to fit all the PDLs who are now jailed in the New Bilibid prison. Thank you.
Okay, Jonel Maribohok.
Sir, may proposal po ba kayo na hihilingin sa Pangulo na nais ninyong mapabilis na mga panukalang batas para maresolba itong problema na ito?
Yes, actually that's a very good question dahil meron po tayong mga long-term strategies or long-term goals kung saan puro naman mga batas ang gusto nating isulong, no. Just to cite a few, ito po, yung enactment of a law on diversion of adult offenders, enactment of a unified penology act, and the creation of the Department of Corrections and Penology. Yun po yung nasa long-term plans po natin. Enactment of a law on reintegration and psychosocial rehabilitation, and amendment of the Recognizance Act of 2012. Yun po yung mga priority bills po na siguro after the summit, mas mabigyan ng clarity para po yun po yung hingi natin kay Presidente na sana maging priority bill at yun din po ang ilalapit ho natin sa Kongreso.
Okay. Alan?
Sir, itong mga nakakulong sa BJMP or sa
Bucor po.
Bucor, yeah. Ano usual, sir, na kaso nito?
Iba-iba po yan, no? There are crimes against public order, mga corporate crimes, mga murders, heinous crimes. At ngayon po, yung problema nga ho, lahat sila halo-halo sa isang facility. When you talk about reformation, kailangan po kasi i-segregate yung mga yan. You cannot include in the same facility yung mga murderers, kidnappers, tapos meron ding mga those charged with estafa. Kasi po, iba po yung approach dapat.
Okay. Jean Mangaluz, Inquirer.
Hi, sir. Sino po yung priority when it comes to the list of pardon, request for pardon PDLs?
There's no priority list. It's more of whether they are qualified or not. So as long as a person is qualified for pardon, for parole, probation, those are the only ones that we include in the list. So in terms of priority, hindi naman po yan, wala naman po tayong pinaprioritize. It's just a matter of whether a person is, let's say for example, an elderly person, if a person has disabilities or is extremely ill, yun po yung mga natin, mga qualified for pardon dahil hindi na po humanitarian at wala na pong tulong yung pagkakulong nila if they're already elderly. The propensity to commit another crime at an advanced age is much lower except for sex offenders. Yun po yung parang kina-carve out natin exception. But otherwise, from a humanitarian point of view, yung mga elderly po, yung mga may disabilities, at yung mga may sakit na po ang usually qualified for pardon.
Can I have a follow-up? So, how many of the would you happen to have the number of how many of these PDLs are in jail due to drug charges, especially in the previous admin?
Well, I don't have the exact number of PDLs that were charged or sentenced for drug-related crimes. However, we did see an increase in the congestion rate from the years, especially in the year 2017. So from 2011 to 2017, there was a steady increase. It decreased from 2018 to 2020, but declined again because of the plea bargaining allowed by the Supreme Court under the rule on reduced bail and the case of Estipona versus Lobrigo. So in 2017, I believe, sorry, I do have the number. As of December 31, 2021, 86,000 PDLs were charged with drug cases versus 39,144 PDLs that were charged with non-drug cases. The PDLs with drug-related offenses accounted for 69% of the total BJMP population, and 15% of these are female PDLs.
Ivan Mayrina, GMA 7.
Asec, I would imagine there would be parallel efforts to also decongest our dockets because that is a very crucial step in decongesting our jails. Is there a similar commitment from the Supreme Court that the courts will do better in decongesting the dockets?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, this is a program that is led by the Supreme Court. They will be promulgating rules on custodial hearings and requiring bail. So that's one way to decongest the jails. To make more efficient, we have digitalization efforts. So we have the National Justice Information System, which is a system that cuts across all sectors of the justice sector or the justice system, where each agency, depending on kung ano yung role nila sa justice system, will have limited access to that database or that system. And that will further increase the effectivity and efficiency of yung court dockets and the way that the courts resolve cases. Dahil po dati, papel talaga yan ang dinadala sa korte. Ngayon, if it's all online, if it's all under one system, the courts will not have to wait for the physical documents anymore. And we can rely already on the system.
Asec, meron pa ho bang mga PDLs, especially itong mga nasa BJMP, na sa tagal nila naghihintay ng resolution ng case sila, they have actually already served out their sentence kung nasentensyahan man sila?
Yes, that is entirely possible at nangyayari po yun. But the thing is, itong mga cases na ito, usually, mababa lang po yung sentence, let's say 6 years or less. So, yun po yung mga cases na sa tingin ho namin, dapat makapag-afford sila ng bail. Dahil maliliit lang naman po yung mga chine-charge sa kanila na kaso. No? So, we're hoping that with the new rules on bail, they don't have to stay a day longer than they should. Dapat dun pa lang sa arraignment or sa hearing for bail, makakapag-post na po sila ng bail. And with the reduced amount for bail, which is at max 10,000 pesos, we hope na makakapag-afford na po sila.
Okay. Alvin Baltasar.
Asa kanina, parang narinig ko na may target ang government na before 2028, kinakailangan mavacate na yung National Bilibid Prison. Nag-start na bang ilipat yung mga inmates natin doon at saka saan sila inililipat? And one more thing, Asec, meron bang timeline doon sa direktiba ni President Marcos na kinakailangan matapos yung decongestion efforts ng gobyerno natin?
Yes. We take the President's directive very seriously. Kaya po, within the administration's time, until 2028, we hope to build at least 16 regional jails. No? And we were hoping na yung NBP ay, we hope to convert it into either a national government center or another government facility which can be utilized, no, to its maximum potential dahil yung lugar po ng NBP ay napakataas na po ng value dyan. And it's a very huge space. Kaya gusto po namin talaga na ma-convert yan into a national government center. And in the process, yung mga PDLs ho natin, ililipat na po sa 16 na regional jails. So we're working very tightly with Bucor, with Director General Kadapang, on his plans and yung mga sketchings na po niya for the regional jails around the country.
Okay. Raquel Bayan, Radyo Pilipinas.
Sir, for clarification lang po, yung reduced bail po natin, gumagana na po siya, yung 50% to 10,000 pesos.
Yes.
Ang gawin na po. And then, sir, may we get, on another topic lang po, may we get an update kung nakipag-ugnayan na po ba yung DOJ sa Malacanang regarding po sa ICC investigation po?
I don't believe the Secretary and the President have spoken yet. It's something that is way above my pay level. So I believe it's something that has to be discussed between the Secretary and the President.
Jean,
Pero
ma'am.
sir, hindi pa po, wala pa pong official communication na nagaganap between PBBM and DOJ po.
Well, they have talked about it before, no? Marami na silang napag-usapan dati pa. Pero with the new news coming out, they haven't talked maybe for about a week about the issue.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to say about the program for decongestion?
Yeah,
When is the event?
December 6 and 7.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
At the Diamond Hotel. So,
All right. So I'm sure the Malacanang press corps will be there because the president will be there. Thank you very much, Assistant Secretary Dominic Clavano IV.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Malacanang press corps. This concludes our press briefing. Good morning.